Hi fans of high quality entertainment.
Hi fans of high quality entertainment.
Hi fans of high quality entertainment. Today I'm ranking the album covers of John Lennon's solo career, including his albums with Yoko Ono. So here we go. Enjoy. And let me know in the comment section below, what is your favorite John Lennon album cover and your least favorite? Almost looks like I've got like a laser beam going through the top of my head. The least favorite of the John Lennon album covers for me is Two Virgins with Yoko Ono. And I never actually owned this, thankfully, when I was younger, or I would have really been, I would have had issues for years if I'd seen what I saw when I finally bought the vinyl of Two Virgins a couple of years ago. Here's the little clip of me opening it up. So there it is. Sorry about the lighting here, maybe it's a bit too bright, but it says Two Virgins. Now, take this out. I'm going to have to blur some of this album cover. Sam said no returns on vinyl. I'll have to keep this one. So that is my least favorite, although I have to admit, design-wise, it's kind of cool that most of the cover is, you know, covered up by a paper bag. And it's visually, it's pretty cool with the two virgins at the bottom with a little hole. So you can see two virgins, and of course the picture of John and Yoko, and you're wondering, gee, I wonder what's underneath this paper bag. My second least favorite is Life with the Lions. And I actually bought this. I remember going to the record store here in Trenton, Ontario. I was, I guess, like 11 years old. And I brought this particular album up to the counter. And I kind of knew the woman. The owner of the store was friends with my parents. And she said, don't buy this because it's bad. But I mean, it had one of the Beatles on the album cover. And so anything with Beatles, it's got to be good, right? So of course I bought it, took it home, and I returned it the next day. She actually let me return it. But yeah. And that actually is a kind of cool album cover, except, you know, later on I learned it's actually a very depressing album cover because John and Yoko had just lost their baby. But at the time I didn't know what was going on, so kind of a cool album cover back in the day. Wedding album. That's actually a very nice album cover. It doesn't even say John Lennon, Yoko Ono anywhere on the cover. It just says wedding album, and most people, because they were so famous, it's like, oh, that's John and Yoko. So very cool album cover. The record, not as much. Milk and Honey and Double Fantasy, they're kind of even. They're nice album covers. Nothing outstanding or anything, but very suitable for the content of the record. It's like half Yoko Ono songs and half John Lennon songs. And so the album covers are very suitable and nice. I've always liked, now this, I don't always rank the album covers for live albums, but this one I had to include. Live Peace in Toronto. I love simplicity. I love either really weird album covers or really basic, simple, like the White Album. And this one, Live Peace in Toronto, with just one little cloud in the bottom left corner. I think it's actually a kind of cool album cover. I've always loved clouds. Mind Games. I really love it, and the only thing I don't care for is the way that John Lennon it looks like he's just plonked right on top of everything else. It's almost like a really bad, of course they didn't have Photoshop back in the day there, but looks like a really bad Photoshop picture. But I love the background with Yoko and the sky and everything else, and so it's a good album cover, just not my favorite. Now we're getting into the really good stuff. Imagine, perfect album cover for this particular album. Really, really well done. Now, of course, this isn't one of John Lennon's most popular albums, although I've always loved it. But you got to admit, that's a very catchy album cover. And it's, trying to look like New York Times or whatever, a newspaper, and it works. And then the lyrics on the album cover, it's very cool. I really, really like that album cover and the album. And this was a really cool album on vinyl, because those 3 sections, on vinyl at least, you could open up each section and underneath would be another painting of John's, or actually a picture of John, I believe. And those are 3 separate drawings that John did when he was age 11, and they are really cool. So that is a very original album cover and really neat. John Lennon Plastic Ono Band, one of his greatest albums. I'm not sure if the text for John Lennon Plastic Ono Band was on the original. I believe it was like nothing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe somebody can answer in the comment section below. But what I really love too is Yoko Ono's solo debut at the same time was the very same picture, but they were reversed. So Yoko Ono was in front of John on her album cover. So I can just imagine somebody by mistake buying Yoko Ono's solo album instead of John's. I love Yoko Ono's music though, okay? And my absolute favorite, John Lennon, Rock and Roll. There he is. That is such a cool shot. And I remember reading, I think that's Paul in the front, and then George. George is there too with some girl. So 3 of the Beatles on that album cover. And John just looks so friggin' cool, standing in the doorway. I don't know if that's the cavern or what, but I should do my research before I do these ranking album covers. But I'm busy, okay? And that's it. That's it. That is my favorite John Lennon album cover. What is your favorite and least favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.